How does Minnesota tax you on $60,000 of income? Let's dive right into that here at the Heritage Wealth Planning YouTube channel, my friends, the place you come to learn all about taxes in the great state of Minnesota. Been a while since I've done this, and now I got my whiteboard. I'm doing the state-by-state taxes down here. Now remember, if you're wanting to dive into your own numbers, go to heritagewealthplanning.com, and you see up on the top right, there'll be, what does it say? Interactive tax tools, I think. Let's see here. If you go up to the top right on the Heritage Wealth, it'll say tax tools on the very top right. You click on that and you'll see the interactive tax tools, and you'll see the federal interactive tax tool from the Tax Foundation. That's how the Tax Cuts and Job Act with the new standard deductions whatnot affects you. We're not looking for that. We're going down with the smartasset.com, the state tax tools, and that's what we're going to here. So let's see what the great state of Minnesota is looking like, if we shall. We're going to crunch some numbers here as well because it's pretty interesting, actually. Minnesota is not a favorable state when it comes to taxes, that's for sure. All right, so we got two things. We got a federal and we got state. All right, so we're going to do two scenarios here. We're going to say Social Security is $40,000 and IRA is $20,000, and then we're going to say Social Security is $20,000 and IRA is $40,000. And what you can see already is for the state of Minnesota, you got $1,600 in taxes right there in this scenario. In this scenario, you only got $160. That's a big deal, my friends. That's a big deal. So when you have $60,000 of total income, of which $40,000 comes from Social Security and the other $20,000 just an IRA distribution or pension, really doesn't matter. You only pay $160 in taxes there. But watch, that's not even how bad it gets. That's bad. Don't get me wrong, that's bad. But remember, what we got to do is we got to figure out our provisional income. All right. So the first thing we have to do, we have to say, okay, we're going to take 1/2 of your Social Security, which is $20,000, plus all of your income. In this case, is $20,000 from IRA. All right. So that's $40,000. That is our what's called provisional income, $40,000. Here we take $10,000. Again, 1/2 of Social Security plus $40,000, and here we got provisional income of $50,000. Now, it might not seem like much. Actually, let's do this. Let's get that Minnesota state out of the way so we can show you here. Just remember, 1610 and 160. We'll write 1610. We'll write 160 here. And 1610 here. Now, most states, it's not as high as that 1610 as it is in Minnesota, so that's not good. But it's the federal is a big one here. All right, so we take our provisional income. Now we're married filing jointly, so remember 0 to 32,000 of this amount here is not subject to anything. 0, 32. Let me wipe that up a little bit better. 32 to 44,000. 50% of that amount is subject to taxation. All right, so in this case, that's 40,000 minus 32, so that's $8,000 times half. So $4,000 of that is subject to taxation. So we have $4,000 of our Social Security is subject to taxation in that regard. Here, though, on the other hand, it's going to be worse. So here, 0 to 32, none of it's subject to taxation. But here we got 50 minus 32, which is 18,000. So 32 to 44, and then 44 above 50%, and then 85%. So here we got $12,000. So 50,000 minus 32 is 18,000. But there's only $12,000 there. All right, so we got $12,000. So $6,000 is subject to taxation. 50,000 minus 44,000 is $6,000. I think that's 50. What was that again? 85% times $6,000. Yeah, 5,100. All right, so that's 5,100. Oops. So here we got 11,100 of our Social Security is subject to taxation. So we only have 20,000 of Social Security here, of which 11,100 is subject to taxation. Here you got 40,000 of Social Security, of which only 4,000 is subject to taxation. You see the difference here? It's a pretty significant difference. So what we do now is 11,100 is subject to taxation. All right. All right, so now what we do is we take our IRA, so we got $20,000 IRA plus the $4,000 of Social Security, $24,000 of gross income, my friends, AGI, and we have $26,600 of standard deduction. So we have what's that? Zero. Yeah. So we got no federal base. So that's minus 2,600. Right? Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Of taxable income. So we have no taxable income into the state of the feds. We just have state income tax, which is only $160. So that's it. I mean, you can't beat that. On the other hand, over here, we got 40,000 plus 11,100. So that's 51,100 is our AGI minus our 26,600 of standard deduction. I think that's 24,500 if memory serves. And 24,500, essentially the first 19,000 is 10% of that's taxable. And then anything above that is taxed at 12%. So that's where you're getting the difference in the feds. In that case, you got the federal taxes here. It's nothing on the feds. It's $2,871. So here you got $2,871 plus $1,610. So that means you're paying $1,814. You're paying $44.81 in taxes in Minnesota if $20,000 is coming from Social Security and $40,000 is coming from your IRA. Here you're paying all of I think it was $160 total. If $40,000 is coming from Social Security and $20,000 is coming from IRA. So which would you rather be? You'd rather be this guy? No. Would you rather be that guy? Yes. You'd rather be here. Which again is another reason to avoid taking Social Security until you have your IRAs just reduced as much as you possibly can, because IRAs are hugely tax consequence, where Social Security is hugely tax favorable in more than just the amount of tax you pay, but on how it affects your other taxes as well. We have the exact same income, $60,000 of income, but because of where it's coming from, you have $160 in tax here for the state of Minnesota and the feds, and here you get almost $4,500. That's a big difference, my friend. So you can go run your own numbers on heritagewealthplanning.com. Just go to the tax tools on top right. Hope you like this help. I hope you find this helpful. And if you have any questions, thoughts, concerns, let me know in the comments. Thumbs up always help. See you next time. Thanks, guys.